First of all, I'd like to say thank you all for coming. You know, a lot of you have travelled far and you've done this already. You know, we've had people come to support the campaign. The support that we're getting is brilliant, and we are, you know, growing every day. So thank you all so much for coming, and let's hope that we stay in this room for as long as possible. So, like Paul says, it's been eventful. It's been an eventful last few weeks, and actually it's been an eventful year as well. You know, the hostility that we are receiving is also growing, as well as our numbers. And it is a real shame, because this is allegedly a democracy that we live in, yet we are the subject of every every source of media is absolutely gunning for us. And it is the same thing that they did to UKIP. Now, as Paul said, we were elated with the UKIP result, and it was well worth, and I'll thank you to the activists that joined us, it was well worth staying up until 4 o'clock in the morning just to see the smiles wiped off the faces of the Tories and all of the Labour supporters that were there and that were, you know, jeering and sort of, you know, making snide remarks towards UKIP and Britain First. The smiles were wiped clean off of their faces, and I'm really, really proud that we helped facilitate that, because everyone that came out campaigning, every single one of you, whether you were out giving leaflets, whether you were part of a march, or whether you were being chased up the street by 30 police officers, which I'm sure we all enjoyed, you all helped facilitate that, and it's moving us in the right direction. So like Paul said, you know, at the moment, we're giving UKIP a clear run, and we will support them as much as possible, because their policies are so similar to ours that our ideas are getting through. So we're not about these corrupt, self-serving politicians that want all the power, want all the glory, and moreover want the money. That's not what we want. We don't care, and we've discussed this, you know, we honestly do not care if we are penniless and somebody else has the glory, but if it means that our country is going to be taken back and saved rather than gifted by these, you know, Labourers and Tories, then that's what we want, and that's what we're fighting for. So thank you everyone that was involved. And today, you know, albeit maybe cut short, hopefully not today, is a really important day, because this is your day. We are a young party, and so far, you know, we've been sort of playing it by ear. We've been out on the streets a lot. We are growing politically. This was the first parliamentary seat that we contested, and it was great fun. And we are going to be moving forward politically as well as a street movement. So the reason today is so important is you all get to have your say today. This is where you can all, you know, I hope you all do already, because we class you as family, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm proud to stand beside absolutely every single one of you. And today really pulls you in to the making of the party, the makeup. The constitution will be discussed, our policies will be discussed, and we want everyone involved. We want to know that everybody's happy with the policies that we put out. We want to know that everyone's happy with our constitution, because if we're going to fight this, we have to fight it together, all singing from the same hymn sheet. So
we'll just go through them one by one. Deport all illegal immigrants, because this is going to be in our manifesto for the general election. All those in favour, because quite frankly, if you're here illegally, you shouldn't be here. It's a no-brainer, really. And there's like 3 to 4 million illegal immigrants in this country, believe it or not. Literally, the size of Birmingham is here illegally, right? So, I want to take a hard line on those and just say we deport the whole bloody lot. Because if they've come here illegally and they're here illegally, see, what you need to remember is every time, these foreigners that come here, right, they're human beings like us. That means they need a house, they need a job. So when they come here, it's not an old thing from the 70s that people, like bigots say, but they do come here and they do take houses that we could have, they do take jobs that we could have, right? And if they're here illegally, every country in the world would deport you, right, apart from Britain, because we're under the subject to the Human Rights Act, etc. So all those in favour of deport all illegal immigrants? All those against? But yeah, if you come to this country and you actually break the law, you know, that's a major liberty. You know, we can't have that. No country in the world would have that. It would be a disgrace and an outrage. If I went to Saudi Arabia or anywhere else and started breaking the law, I would be thrown out, right? My feet wouldn't touch the floor. So all those in favour of deport all foreign criminals, yeah? Those against? Carried unanimously. Tell him to come to the front on his own. Tell him to come to the front on his own.
I'm not having to have a public meeting with you, Paul. I've discussed the matter out here.
We're taking care of business in here, mate.
We're just having a meeting. We've paid the venue owner. We can't be thrown out purely for reasons of political bias. Okay? You're here to enforce the law. The law is councils cannot withhold their premises from registered political parties. That's the law.
You can come talk to me out here.
I'll be out there in 2 minutes. Okay? Right. It is ridiculous, isn't it? Do you think the Lib Dems put up with this? Do you think Labour puts up with it? Do you think the Tories put up with it? It's only us. Because we're the only ones who want to save our country. We're the only ones who want to put our people first. That's why the authorities hate us and they fear us. Because we're coming for the corrupt ruling class in this country who are fiddling their expenses and selling us down the river. We're coming for them. And they know it. That's why they put the pressure on us.
Yeah.
If you want to come in and turf us out, be our guest, but we're not going. We're going to be finished about 5:30. It's 3 o'clock now. 2.5 hours. We're not hurting anyone, we're not harming anyone.
Okay, well, the governor's up here now, so I'm sure we'll come and have a chat with you. Obviously, we can
We're
have
going partners. We haven't taken a moment.
Very keen.
It's a no-brainer. Look, we'll just go straight to it. Anyone want to say anything on that subject? No? Okay. All those in favour? All those against? Good, because if you put your hand up then you can turn down.
That's a joke.
Right. Pass unanimously. Implement the need for referendums on any issues that involve the transfer of national sovereignty and the opening of our borders. Now the only way this country ceases to exist is if they open the borders and we get taken over by immigration, or our government surrenders and they anyone, could be America, could be the European Union, takes over our political sovereignty. So, that's the only 2 ways that this country could really come a cropper, so to speak. So I believe that it should be enshrined in law that if there's any, you shouldn't as your Prime Minister, just be able to go up, just transfer it to, whatever, sign the Lisbon Treaty or sign the Treaty of Maastricht, etc., etc., and no one can stop it. It shouldn't be allowed. If you tamper with the Constitution, if you tamper with national sovereignty or immigration, it should go to a referendum. It's the only way to keep our country safe long term. Yeah, and just on those 2 issues, I believe. There's nothing else really will endanger the survival of this country as a nation, apart from mass immigration or things like the European Union taking over our country politically. So, anyone want to speak on that?
We're being locked in.
No, I think they're put through listening devices. Good luck to them. There you go, police state. Surveillance society. You never thought you'd see it today, did you?
Big brother.
So there you go.
Right.
So yeah, all those in favour of making it enshrined in law that you must have a referendum if you issues of national sovereignty or the opening of our borders. All those against? Passed unanimously. Okay.
Can we go and speak together? We'll speak in a room where it's more convenient, it's more comfortable. Well, if you don't mind, you might be, but I'm going to sit down if you don't mind, because I just find it a little bit more comfortable.
We're going on to education next. Right, we've got Merlin. I'll get to you in a minute.
We need to abolish agency workers and the agencies.
Yeah, see, I've actually worked in the health sector as agency staff and as an agent. So we were both sides. Teaching of British history throughout all levels of education.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to contribute? All those in favour? Any against? Carried unanimously. The abolition, we spoke on this earlier, the abolition of tuition fees for students who achieve high grades.
Yeah.
Matthew, did you want to contribute?
What this is with university, we've got a lot of kids that progress and working class background, who are really bright, went on to be a doctor, the council. We can identify kids like that and we should be looking to tell them.
a national shame, wouldn't it, if you've got a young man or a young woman who's super intelligent and they could contribute massively to the economy, but they can't get the money for university.
I've got a grandson who's 17. I mean,
First one, scrap the entire foreign aid budget.
yeah.
Don't even need to explain that. Scrap all expenditure relating to immigration, such as translation, costs and benefits, etc., etc. If you come to this country, you manage to get to this country, you should work, contribute, never take anything out of the pot, alright? Halt all further payments to the European Union. Severely curtail spending on the national debt, which has been built up by decades of government overspending. Pretty straightforward. What happens is our government spends 700 billion a year, but they only bring in 500 billion. So every single year that passes, our country gets a further 200 billion in debt. That's got to be stopped. And the only way to stop it is to stop ridiculous spending on the EU, foreign aid, and all that kind of stuff. Right? Balance the national deficit in a decisive and effective manner. All connected. Any points on that? Tim?
Yeah, overseas aid, I think you've got to allow us all of that, just for things like the tsunami or the magic. But any resources you send out, they should be sourced from their countries.
Absolutely. You have to balance it. You know, if we live in a perfect society where no pensioners are freezing to death, and our hospital wards are not dirty, and all of our kids are not living in poverty, then we'll give money abroad.
What I'm saying is,
I wanted to say, Andy, I appreciate the difficulties of the movement wanting the children, not wanting the children to go to the military, but it's like, it's a difficult thing, I understand.
Okay, look, we did have time for much, much more, and I'm so gutted that this has happened. The police have put listening devices through. They're threatening us all with arrest unless we stop the meeting now. This is the kind of pressure we're under. We actually booked 3 venues for today. It's just so ridiculous. I've never seen this kind of pressure and hostility from the state to any other political party.
It just means you're doing something right, mate.
It just confirms for us, like I said, I'm a Christian man, Jayda's a Christian, it must mean that we're doing right. It must mean we're doing something so right that they feel they have to, you know, absolutely come down on us like a ton of bricks and try and all their dirty tricks in the book to try and stop us. But yeah, look, our RCOs have come up here. These are the guys that have come forward and they volunteered to run each region of the country. Some of them are not here. Gary Stewart from over in Northern Ireland, Alan Galbraith from Scotland, couldn't be with us today. But these are the guys, ladies and gentlemen, that make, you know, they make Britain First move. They're the ones who do all the organising, all the phone calls, all the stuff behind the scenes. When you see us marching down the street or chasing Anjab Chowdhury outside his house, or when you see us doing anything, these are the guys responsible, okay? Not myself, not Jayda, it's these guys that mobilise the people in all the regions of the country. So we haven't got time for them to come up and say a few words today, but I would really like everyone to give them a standing ovation and a massive round of applause. It's okay, sir, it's okay, we're going in a moment. We're finished.
Just the mark off the feedback.
Disgusting.